Oh, hey, Jerry, and he had the perfect response.
He had the perfect response, hit that home run, and he came in and gave him un abrazo, por favor.
It's the first of 3 in San Diego. Time to head out to Petco Park. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser have the call. Take it away, Joe.
All right, John, for the first time in 2026, it's the Dodgers and the Padres. A 3-game series from here in San Diego at Petco Park. And per usual, this place will be rocking. And as it's been the last few seasons, these two teams at the top of the division. The Dodgers by a half game lead the Padres, and they've kind of gone side by side throughout this year. Stumbled a little bit early on in May, but have both come to life lately. The Dodgers winning 5 in a row. The Padres coming off a sweep of the Mariners, winning 6 of their last 8 games. And we are all set for game 1. It's the Dodgers and the Padres. We welcome you inside. Hope your week is off to a great start. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. This has become one of the hottest rivalries in baseball.
It really has. And you know what? There's a buzz in the air already here. It feels like the Atlanta Braves are playing, but we're playing the Padres. Down south, the rival, the winner of this game tonight, is in first place.
And when you look at the starting pitching matchup, fitting for a series that feels big for this time of year. Yamamoto for the Dodgers, Michael King for the Padres.
You look at this pitching matchup, and it feels like it's the first game of a playoffs. You've got the World Series MVP on one side wearing Dodger blue. He's looking for a split finger. He's looking for the strike zone with the fastball to have a little better command, but he will be on his game at a higher level. And Michael King is at his level, which has been elite lately, especially a lot of ground balls, a lot of deception, and a guy will go out on the mound and will compete at the same level that this fan base is going to compete.
And for Yamamoto, he's trying to do what they've done since he last pitched. The 5-game winning streak started after he made his last start, and pitching's been awesome.
Yeah, the starters have had a 1-6-1, and the relievers have not given up a run. So there's been a combination of whoever starts has done well, and then the guys finishing the game off have done really well.
Time to go to the field. Hello, Kirsten Watson.
Thank you, Joe. Well, these are two teams that are playing some of their best baseball at the moment. You mentioned that the Padres come in on a 3-game win streak. For the Dodgers, they came in with a 5-game win streak. And the big question has been, can this series be a measuring stick as to where these teams are at right now? We're talking to the guys in the Dodgers clubhouse. The answer is no. They know who they are at the moment. They want to continue playing really good baseball. But the big focus, Mookie Betts said to me, he said they want to focus on being consistent. This season has had some ups and some downs for them, especially on the offensive side. So the hope tonight and moving forward is to keep playing as a team at a very high level right now, guys.
All right, Kirsten, don't tell my 7-year-old son this series doesn't matter. He woke up and said, Dad, this is when we find out who's the best. Dodgers and Padres, it's May, but it's big. We got first pitch coming up.
Yeah. Wasting your money on products that just don't work? That's why new Genix Total T2 lets you try before you buy. Just text to claim your complimentary sample. New Genix Total T2. It's the next generation testosterone booster that sends nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. Feel leaner, stronger, and ready for anything with more energy and drive. Prove it to yourself.
Dodgers and Padres coming up, and coming into the season, Fernando Tatis Jr. averaged a home run every 19 plate appearances, hit 25 bombs last year, has almost 200 plate appearances so far this season, Jerry. He is yet to hit a home run. How do you explain the 0 in the home run column?
It's very strange because he's a big dude. I mean, obviously we saw the pop last season, the years prior, and he did hit, I think, a couple home runs in the WBC. Baseball sometimes will baseball. It's just not there for him. Hopefully it's not there this series.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't let that number fool you because he seems to hit a lot versus the Dodgers. He's got like 19 against the Dodgers.
Let's hope it doesn't happen in the next 3 days. Dodgers and Padres. Joe and Oral have the call next.
Outback Steakhouse has a 3-course meal called the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. With soup or salad.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The real sourdough star is back at Carl's Jr. Get it for just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Beautiful night in San Diego, ready for the first game of this 3-game series. The first time these teams match up this year, and the Dodger offense comes in hot, and you figured it was a matter of time. You're trusting that it was a matter of time before these guys broke out. They did so at the end of the San Francisco series, kept it going against Anaheim. That is 8 runs per game the last 5. And Shohei Ohtani, we've been saying as he goes, so will the Dodgers. In his last 4 games, 8 hits, 8 runs batted in after another 3-hit game yesterday. The lineup for the Dodgers here in Game 1 against Michael King looks like this, with Ohtani to lead off, Mookie Betts, then Freddie Freeman. Cal Tucker has also taken off lately. He's in right field hitting cleanup. Will Smith does the catching, bats 5th. Max Muncy's at 3rd. Andy Pages in center field, leading the majors and runs batted in. In left, it's Teoscar Hernandez. He's above 400 his last 9 games and has Song Kim coming off his best game in a while yesterday against the Angels. And they face off with Michael King, who is a sinker baller that really hasn't had his sinker yet, which makes those numbers that much more impressive. A .263, the best on this starting staff.
He will compete with whatever pitches he brings to the table, and it's both fastballs, a sweeper, and a changeup. Got some deception in his delivery, and here's what he'll throw at you. But you're not going to see a lot from the slider, but he wants to find that sinker and get you to pound it into the ground. The Dodgers are going to need to make sure they get strikes because he's not in the zone very much.
He was saying, Oral, that not having that sinker command has changed everything for him. Where usually he's so confident in it, he doesn't care what the scouting report says about a guy. He's going to attack him with a sinker, trust that he's going to get him out, trust that he's going to get deep into games, but not really knowing where that's going. He says he's going hitter by hitter, pitching to their weaknesses, and he's leaving these outings just mentally exhausted.
Yeah, when you've got one pitch that you can tell them it's coming and it's still hard to hit, it is not mentally draining. But when you have to think about sequencing and where was the last pitch and where was that foul ball and did I read that swing and what side of the field do I want the out in? Yeah, you can be out of it by the end of the game.
The Padres are half game out of first place, not because of their starting pitching, not because of the offense. Been the bullpen that has led the way, but among the starters, this has been the best guy. Off we go as Ohtani stands in and takes downstairs with the first pitch fastball. Ohtani 8 hits, 8 runs batted in his last 4 games. 7 of those RBIs the last 2 against his old club. Dodgers in that sweep in Anaheim, outscoring the Angels 31-3. That's the 4th largest margin of victory in a 3-game series in franchise history. Largest since 2000. Swing and a miss on a changeup, which King has relied on more than ever as he searched for that sinker. And it's 1-2 on Ohtani.
The runs against the Angels, you'd think it was a lot of home runs. Well, they were there, but what really started to happen was hitting with runners in scoring position and getting runs in with 2 outs.
1-2 pitch. Ohtani taps it foul and stays alive. Outscoring opponents 40-5 during this 5-game winning streak. Padres come in hot as well. They just swept the Seattle Mariners up in Seattle and have won 6 of their last 8. Ohtani, who's got 3 home runs against King, down 1-2, and now the count evens. Ohtani's got 3 home runs against King. Betts has 3. And a little lower in the order, Teoscar Hernandez has taken King deep twice. Roxon fires 2-2. Ohtani blasts one in the air to left center field, but he just got under it. And Ramon Laureano will make the catch for the first out of the night.
Little slider took the sting out of his bat.
So here comes Mookie Betts. 4 for 22 coming off of the injured list. 2 of those 4 hits, though, home runs, and he has looked better than that 4 for 22 would lead you to believe he has.
Really has. The flight pattern has been really good as the ball leaves his bat.
And for him, that's pulling the ball with authority.
Pulling the ball in the air, not rolling over it. We haven't seen the power or the line drive consistently to right yet, but he is getting the ball in the air to left field.
0-1 from King. Shot foul, 0-2.
Mookie's at his best when he's pulling the ball, but he needs to use the opposite field just so that the ball gets a little deeper and he doesn't get fooled in reading the pitch.
0-2 comes home from King. Grounds this one down the line, and it sneaks under Machado's glove. A fair ball. Betts throws on the brakes with Laureano getting to that, and with his cannon of an arm out there, holding Betts to a single. And the Dodgers have the first base runner of the game.
Well, with 2 strikes, you'll forgive him for hitting the ball on the ground, and especially when it finds a hole. A little slider again, comes over the top of it. And it does. That looked like it took an odd kick.
Yeah, it's kind of dead.
Base. Yeah, Machado expecting a normal kick. He got a skidder.
Machado is ready to make one of those vintage Manny Machado plays where he drifts into foul ground and still chucks it across to get you. Didn't get that chance, though. Ball one on Freddie Freeman. It just does clip the base. To aid Betts in a base hit. Freddie Freeman trying to snap an 0 for 14 slide. This hasn't quite looked right.
Yeah, you watch him swing the bat and you go, yeah, that's Freddie, but there is a little bit more swing and miss, and there's a little bit of too much for him foul balls where he's shaking his head like I should have hit that one.
Takes a strike, 1-2.
In the zone, he's hitting 323. Out of the zone, he's hitting 068.
Kings 1-2. Freeman takes away. Count evens 2-2. He's actually hitting the ball still harder than he has in his time with the Dodgers. He's striking out less than he ever has. So there is still some poor luck in there.
That's the one he's going to say he should have hit. Outer half up. That ball is just labeled to go to left center. It's fouled back.
That's at first with one away. King to Freeman with a 2-2 pitch. Count goes full.
It's one of those king sinkers that he doesn't know where it's going, so he makes a good miss too far in instead of leaking it over the middle of the plate. But still, that's a pitch that he normally likes to execute and finish off Freeman.
Michael King in his 3rd year with the Padres came over in the Juan Soto trade as a guy who they were going to give a chance to be a starter for the first time in his career, and he delivered on that in his first season. Had a sub-3 ERA. There goes Betts on strike 3. Throw down, double play. Strike him out, throw him out to finish off the first for King. Off and rolling in San Diego. Yamamoto takes the ball. You come back.
Legacy.
Here come the Padres, and they have toggled guys in and out of that leadoff spot. It'll be Tatis tonight, and Duhar and Gavin Sheets coming off a monster week. Machado, Bogarts, and Jackson Merrill. Castellanos in his first season with the Padres over from Philly. Laureano and Duran round things out for first-year manager Craig Stammen. And, of course, for the Dodgers, Yoshinobu Yamamoto gave up a season-high 5 runs last week against San Francisco. He's got a +5 ERA his last 4 starts after that sterling start to the year. And he begins this game with a splitter and a strike on Tatis. Eight up, 8 down against San Francisco. So he conquered what had been ailing him, and that was the rough starts to the game. But then the home runs as he starts Tatis with back-to-back splitters. Gave up 3 home runs for the first time in his pro career. And what was more was that those all came to the 8 and 9 hitters.
Guys with tremendous ability that have shown us excellent stuff and elite command. When challenged like this with some bad stats over a course of 4 starts, I really have confidence he's going to turn it around. The pitch that he really needs to turn it around with is the split finger. He's got to get it at the knees and then burying, compared to being a little bit lazy and being up. And you see the difference between the first 4 starts and the last 4 starts.
He said that he actually felt pretty good about that splitter last start, just a couple misplaced. 2-2 to Tatis. Line to short and caught by Mookie Betts.
Well, Tatis kills this ball, and it's a hanging slider right down the middle, but you got 7 fielders behind you. And he happened to hit it at one.
Yamamoto says, I feel like I'm almost there. And he said, I just got to be a little more mindful. You know, you're facing down at the bottom of the order. He essentially let up a little bit, giving up those home runs to the 8 and 9 hitters as he misses inside to Andujar right here. You know, in Japan, there's only a couple guys in each lineup that can take you deep. If that, when you're a guy like Yamamoto. Dave Roberts is saying, though, major league hitters are major league hitters. And not that he doesn't know that, not that he doesn't have an appreciation for that difference, but last week against San Francisco was a good reminder for him.
It's really about counts when you get to the bottom of the order. It's about staying in pitchers' counts, because then you can make it look like a strike, end up a ball. But if you fall behind, you can get a little lazy with all I need to do is get back in the count with a strike, and they burned him.
1-1 to Andujar. Now, 5 of the 8 home runs that he's given up have come to the bottom third of the lineup. Two and two. Sinker's been a good pitch for him.
It really has, and that's a superb sinker. The last one, it started looking like a ball and ended up right on the corner. That's an impressive pitch.
And now 2-2 to one of the hardest guys in the league to strike out. It's lifted to left field. Hernandez back. Goodbye. Another elevated 2-strike pitch, and Miguel Andujar makes him pay. 1-0 Padres.
It's the home run he's trying to avoid, and it is the lazy splitter that's up. It's like a bad changeup because it's up, looks like a fastball in the middle of the plate, but then leaks into the right-handed hitter, and even if you're out in front, you're out in front and hitting it in the air, and that's to the short part of the ballpark.
5 of the 9 home runs that he's given up have come with 2 strikes. And now Gavin Sheets takes a strike. Sheets, the hottest hitter in this lineup, coming off a week you could send to Cooperstown. He was 10 for 16 with 4 home runs and 7 walks. Fouls this one back, and he's down 0-2. This Padres lineup, 5th worst in baseball in slugging, 3rd worst in baseball in on-base percentage, and they've got the worst average collectively. It's been a problem with their biggest hitters, with their stars. Tatis, Machado, and Merrill, probably the 3 biggest names in the lineup, are 3 of the worst 10 in the National League so far in terms of on-base plus slugging. So it's been guys like this, Gavin Sheets, that have helped him get enough offense to be 10 games over 500. Enough offense, and enough offense late. Sheets historically so. He already has 3 go-ahead 3-run home runs in the 9th inning. He's the first guy in Major League history to have it in a season. And it's mid-May. Waits on this 1-2 pitch. And takes it inside. 2-2. Said he just always tells himself, I want this moment. I want this moment in the biggest moments. He's been a clutch guy for the Padres since they got him prior to last year, and he hit a pinch hit home run in his first at bat here. Full count.
San Francisco gave up all the runs after the first inning, but he has struggled in first innings in the outings prior to that. His ERA in the first inning is over 6.75 coming in, and now with that run, even higher.
And the first inning is always the highest ERA because that's when you are most frequently going to face all the best hitters. but that's out of whack for him even.
His ERA after the first inning overall, including the 5 earned runs he gave up at San Francisco after the first, is just 3. So he is really good after the first.
Under the payoff to Sheets. Got him. Used the cutter, which he went away from against the Giants last week, but he brings it back here for his first strikeout of the game.
Well, location. Looks like a fastball in on the corner. Ends up cutting in there. Every one of the bad pitches statistically you will look at, it's about location.
If he and the Dodgers get 7 Ks in this game, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. Manny Machado with the bases empty and 2 gone takes ball 1 on a sinker. Machado is 4 for his last 50, and would you believe he's got the 2nd worst average in the National League at just 182. He's been a slow starter throughout his career. This is well beyond, though, any of those early season slumps that he's experienced. And this is 15th major league year, more than half of that now in San Diego. And time flies. 2-0 pitch, ball 3.
Definitely has the green light. You just can't throw something to get it over.
It's a 4-pitch walk to him. And now word from Jacoby and Myers.
Injured in an accident? Call Jacoby and Myers, the official law firm of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Getting kept alive for Xander Bogaerts. Now, Bogaerts has gone in the other direction from Machado. He has looked as good as he has in his time in San Diego here in his 4th season with the team. Decade in Boston, perennial all-star, Silver Slugger Award winner there. Big contract here in San Diego, and a lot of freak injuries over the first few years. Not an above-average hitter, but he said, I realize I signed up to be a lot more than that. And showing some signs of being that guy so far this season. He's homered against Yamamoto before. And Yamamoto back in the zone, 1-1.
"25 pitches, and they have been stressful. First of all, the crowd and the rivalry, and then the damage.
More of that sinker than the 4-seam in this first inning.
He has good movement and some depth with it. 14 of 26 pitches have been strikes.
In the air to right field, Kyle Tucker to put an end to this first inning, but they put a start to the scoring with Andujar's home run, 1-0 after 1. Up lately has been Kyle Tucker doing so. He was 3 for 5, knocked in 3 yesterday. Last 14 games, he's hitting .313 with an OPS up above 900. And more of that, too. More smiling from the first-year Dodger, who leads off this second against Michael King.
For me, Kyle is swinging the bat more aggressively, and I don't mean first pitch is like we thought it was a little too aggressive early on, but just throughout the count, he just looks more comfortable. Seeing him scratch on the dirt a little bit more in there. He's a little more animated when he gets in the box.
Ahead 2-0. Fouls off this fastball.
Looks a little more free and easy.
A little more hitterish.
Yeah, just it doesn't look like he's worried about making contact. He's like he believes in his swing.
On this 2-1, he lays off a changeup that catches the corner and evens the count. Or did it? So 2-2 on Kyle Tucker, leading off this second for the Dodgers. King throws. Tucker golfs one in the air to center field. Playable for Jackson Merrill. One gone. Here's another one where the numbers don't match what you're seeing. Will Smith over his last 20 games is hitting just a little over 200. Numbers overall the lowest of his career, but doesn't look that off.
Hitting the ball hard, and I like the fact he's been hitting the ball hard to right field. It tells me he's going to be on everybody's arsenal, no matter if they're going down to 75 miles an hour or up to 100 miles an hour.
Well, he's a guy like Mookie Betts who prefers to pull the ball in the air, and that's when he's at his best, when he's doing that. But he's faced a bunch of sinker ballers lately, and that's much harder to do. It kind of plays into their hands if you're trying to do that. And he's the type of hitter that, to use the golf analogy, has different clubs in his bag and will adjust his sights and hit the ball hard the other way, like you're referencing, like he did against Soriano or Kahanowitz. Another sinker baller here. Swings through an elevated sweeper, and it's 1-2.
He was going to pull that ball. I was sitting in the chair and letting it go right there. That was a definite pull swing on a hanging breaking ball. He just missed it.
Boy, this looks just like the Michael King who we were studying and reading about coming into this game. Not commanding the ball. Is 1-2 to Smith, is in there for strike 3. He's got his second K, and it's the Michael King that we studied coming in, where even though he doesn't have it, he's still finding a way to get guys out.
Four-seamer that holds the corner at 95, a perfect pitch.
That one a little different than he's been doing. Perfect command. His pitching coach Ruben Niebla said he has 3 qualities that allow him to compensate when he doesn't have that sinker command. It's a ball on Muncy. He's got movement, he's got deception, and he's as fierce of a competitor as you're going to find. So even though he hasn't had his money pitch, 2.5 ERA as he starts his 10th game tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Muncy.
Those qualities you mentioned, you can build a lot of great starting pitchers with those 3 qualities. The movement and deception actually help each other. It's almost exponential, because even if you're not hitting your spots, if you can make it look like a strike and it ends up a ball, you're going to get a lot of chase, and that's what he does. And then you get a lot of weak contact too, because if the big league hitter ventures off the plate or too high or too low, you're going to get the weak contact, the pop-ups, and the ground balls.
He was mostly a sinker baller as a reliever with the Yankees, but then started to develop more pitches, add to that arsenal, got a chance to be a starter right at the end of his time there. And had they not given him that chance, he's not in this situation now, because the Padres saw that and made him a key part of that Juan Soto trade. Had that great first season with the Padres. Last year ruined by injuries. Had a nerve issue in his shoulder and came back from that, injured his knee, so only made 15 starts. They brought him back on a new 3-year contract. Muncy hits it hard but foul. Both sides happy with that deal, because he gets the money, but he also gets outs after each of the first 2 years, where he feels like he can go and make a little more money after last year and his walk year being hurt for a lot of the time. Padres are saying, though, we trust that this guy's going to get back to doing what he did his first year, and we're happy to have him, give him the chance to have that bounce back year.
I think he's making around $9 million this year, but $32 next. Pretty nice raise.
Here's the 2-2 to Muncy through the back door. We got a challenge coming here. Let's see if indeed it did make it through that back door. Challenge from the catcher Duran, and ABS is powered by T-Mobile. And he's already got a season high 3 strikeouts.
Again, June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. Visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today.
Padres in front 1-0 on a Miguel Andujar home run as Jackson Merrill rolls this one up along first. A race to the bag, won by Yamamoto. Bang, bang play at first. Yamamoto had to be perfect, and he just was.
He had two choices: to change his angle after picking the ball up and go for the tag. He decided to keep going straight ahead towards first, and one big step at the end gets him there in time. Most guys would cut it off right here and go for the tag, but he decided to continue on to the bag. You see how he's out in front of him right there. Just angle over, but doing a good job keeping his head down, making sure that ball went in his glove.
Gosh, you still hold your breath a little bit, though, when your ace pitcher's running over there full speed. Base runner's right alongside him, but he comes out cleanly. One pitch, one out after the long first inning, and Nick Castellanos climbs in, the longtime Philadelphia Philly. Grounds one to short. Mookie Betts, and on 3 pitches, 2 outs. Just what Yamamoto needs here to get back on track in this game.
27 pitch first inning. Give up a run, but if you're going to have a 27 pitch inning and you say you're going to give up runs, 1 is about all you'd want to do. That is amazing to stay away from more damage.
A couple things come with the mantle of ace. One of them is the expectations that you're great all the time, which nobody's going to be. And so he gives up a few runs and we're like, what's going on? The other thing that it comes with is the expectation and the usual delivery of length, even when you're not great. And even the last few starts, we're talking about the numbers not being good. He still, in 3 of those 4 starts, has gone 6+ innings. He pitched into the 7th in this start we're talking about last week against the Giants going haywire. 2 outs for Laureano. Big curve, gets a swing and a miss.
The Dodger starters are 4th in Major League Baseball in earned run average, and the relievers are 5th in Major League Baseball in average. So this is a very, very good pitching staff. And one of the things that is really making them good and thinking about long term is the length that the starters are going, and the very few innings the relievers have had to pitch.
Yamamoto on 6 pitches goes 1, 2, 3 in the second. Back, world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Dodgers down a run to the top of the 3rd, bottom of the order here. Andy Pages takes ball 1 from Michael King. 6 runs batted in this weekend for Pages, leading the major leagues with 41 of them. About a quarter of the way into the season, and he's almost halfway to his career high that he set last year. And runs batted in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The bat has gone quiet other than the home run swing, but the defense has been immaculate.
At a premium position.
Oh, he's been fantastic out there. Actually caught 11 fly balls in a game in Anaheim where he was 1 away from the record that only 3 guys hold in Major League Baseball history. And a couple of those catches were game savers.
Or you put together, even though the bat has lulled a little bit lately, that elite center field defense, what he's done overall offensively, and he still leads the majors in wins above replacement, which is just a way to measure a player's overall value, all the things that he does, the value that he brings. Just above Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals.
And he's hitting 7th for the Dodgers.
Yeah. On a 2-2 from King, fouls it off and stays alive.
Tells you about the resumes on the rest of the team.
But Pages hitting 7th. You got Teoscar Hernandez hitting 8th. That is scary depth when everybody's doing it. And lately, Teoscar Hernandez has started to again. Another 2-2 to Pages. He swings and misses. Strike 3. That's 4 of them for King. And speaking of Hernandez getting things going, working on a win presented by the Home Depot, hitting above 400 over his last 9 games. It was not pretty prior to this stretch. Dave Roberts dropping him to this spot in the order, dropping him to 8th, and served as a wake-up call, it's looked like, for him. And we talked about his mechanics being off, but there were too many at-bats that stood out in the wrong way in this lineup where it just didn't look like him. It didn't look competitive. But last week or so, that has changed as well, and the hits have followed.
Yeah, before these last 9 games, he had a stretch of 17 games where he only hit around 150. And there was a lot of chase and a lot of swing and miss balls even in the strike zone. He really did look lost.
I think he gets the message sent by Dave Roberts dropping him in the order. He sees that he's struggling. And then he got Alex Call. Anytime he gets plugged in there delivering. There's enough there for a veteran guy, smart guy like Teoscar Hernandez to say, okay, time for me to flip the switch.
Mateo's not a big scouting report guy as much as he's a see ball, hit ball kind of guy. And you got to really lock in. If you're not worried about what does a guy do in certain counts or what's he trying to get you out with when he's ahead, you want to just see the ball and hit it and react.
Big bounce at his second. Tatis, who has moved in there with Jake Cronenworth on the injured list, throws him out 2 away.
When you're a see ball, hit ball kind of guy, you really got to concentrate on what was the sequencing in the last time. What kind of spin am I reading? What's the ball doing tonight? It's a little more work than actually really digging into the scouting report and trying to memorize it.
2 up and 2 down for King in this 3rd inning, trying to face the minimum first time through the lineup. Here's Ha-Seong Kim. His best game in a while yesterday. 2 for 3 with a walk. Knocked in a run, scored a run.
So much talent in this body. And I think, you know, he really realizes who he is on a daily basis. I think he realizes it. We see it in patches of 3 and 4 games, and then maybe 3 or 4 games we don't see it. Gets a little bit in between, thinking that he's got maybe more power than he has. Really needs to maybe just be a line drive, ground ball kind of hitter for me. Use the opposite field a little bit more. When you see a guy his size and you see infielders shifting the way the Padres are, it's like they really realize that this guy's a pull it on the ground hitter.
Couple good change-ups right there for King, who has struck out 5 one time through the lineup.
Some fans on May 27th will take home a Yamamoto Game 7 Last Out bobblehead. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
1-0 San Diego as Yamamoto goes back to work here in the bottom of the 3rd. He's downstairs with his first pitch to Rodolfo Duran. 9-1-2 for the Padres in this 3rd inning. That's Duran, then back to the top in Tatis, and Andujar, whose home run is the difference in this game. And I know that he's hung a couple splitters, but he's also thrown some really good ones like that.
My favorite pitch of his tonight is the 2-seamer away. That could really be the foundational pitch.
Line drive left field, hangs up for Hernandez. Scorched out there. And good thing for Yamamoto that it was. It carries to the left fielder for the first out.
Yeah, either neutral spin or top spin keeps this one in the ballpark. Yeah, a little top spin on it. 4-seamer that got more of the middle of the plate than he wanted. It's a good catch.
Here's Tatis, who crushed a line drive his first time that was caught by Mookie Betts, and that has sort of been the story for Tatis this year, who's hitting the ball as hard as anybody in baseball. Now the line drive was at least an improvement, because the problem has been that while he's hitting as hard as anybody, it's been on the ground, and he's one of 5 qualified hitters in the majors, and I hesitate to even say this, so I'll just let you read the graphic. I don't want it to be my fault. If it were to change. 2-1. Tatis got off to a bit of a slow start and then started to tweak the swing and put a tweak on top of the tweak, and it's just gotten totally out of whack. I had one person with the Padres describe what it looks like right now as a broken toy, just with parts malfunctioning, and Well, the bottom twisted away from the top and totally off.
A transformer that doesn't look like anything.
That's right. Dude, Dad, he broke my toy. Here's the ground ball. Muncy throws on the move. Bang, bang, but in time. 2 out.
Max has a really good baseball clock. He did not try to throw that ball hard. He just tried to get rid of it quickly. And it was just in time. Got him by inches.
Oof.
Like 2 inches.
Maybe even centimeters.
Yeah.
Millimeters. Two outs and Andujar, who took Yamamoto deep with 2 strikes in the first inning.
Just a lazy pitch on the inner half. He didn't miss it.
Now, in 2018, Shohei Ohtani won American League Rookie of the Year. Miguel Andujar was the runner-up. 27 home runs that year as a rookie with the Yankees, and he broke Joe DiMaggio's rookie doubles record. Pops us back in on a play 1 and 2, but then couldn't get out of his own way when it came to the injuries in the years after that. Only played 140 games the next 5 seasons. Resurgent year last year, though, split between the A's and the Reds, hit .318 and earned a 1-year contract with the Padres. Boy, he gets another pitch to hammer with 2 strikes and does into left field. He's got both hits for the Padres.
When that ball comes in from left field, you're just glad that you're using the same ball. It's a hang and breaking ball. It's not like completely hanging or it's above the waist, but it's just thigh high laying there. His 2 biggest mistakes to the same hitter.
Inning kept alive, Gavin Sheets. Oh, and 2. So again, he quickly gets to 2 strikes, looking for that put away pitch. At least looking for a better pitcher's pitch with 2 strikes.
Well, you're looking for him to chase because anything out of the zone, he's hitting 143. Something that looks like a strike ends up in the dirt.
Chases a splitter right here, tapped up the middle. Mookie Betts with a nifty play right there. And that does it for the Padres in the 3rd. Top of the order coming up for the Dodgers when you come back. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal with a chance to win the $75,000 prize for Jack's 75th anniversary. Ohtani takes strike 1 from Michael King. Dodgers bring up the minimum against King the first time through the order. Just 1 base runner was wiped away by caught stealing. Ohtani, who flied out his first time, takes the ball and it's 1-1. A couple of things for Ohtani. Obviously more energized, getting those couple of days off. And he says his stance, his setup is everything, and feels like he's finally got it right where he needs it to be. The right amount of open/closed, and his posture, which you can't tell to the naked eye, but for him is going to feel a whole lot different when he makes a little tweak to it. And he says what that's leading to is he's seen pitches better. 2-1 from King. Shohei watches a strike. 2-2.
The best thing I can tell you about posture is that's why golfers worry about it so much, and it relates completely to hitters and it relates completely to pitchers. If the bones are lined up correctly, the muscles can fire in the right sequence. If they're in a different position than you're normally used to. The muscles are going to fire out of sequence. They're not going to load the same way.
Payoff. Ball 4. Leadoff walk for Ohtani. And a word from Morongo.
Midland live July 18th. Get tickets now. Morongo.
First walk the Dodgers have taken, and Ohtani using that better vision, better discipline to reach base here to start the 4th. Here's Betts. Single down the line his first time.
Shohei not running as much, but he has picked opportune times to run to help start the offense or late in close games.
6 for 6 in stolen bases this year.
The pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
The catcher has called a ball, but Duran going to challenge it. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And he's 2 for 2.
And the call's overturned. The count's on 1.
On to Betts. To short and caught by Bogarts.
It's an out, but it's a good sign. In the air to the left side on a pitch that he should do that. So proper mechanics against a good pitch that you should be swinging at. Barreled it up. Just left turn back to the dugout.
Freeman, who took strike 3, called his first time, as Ohtani at first and 1 away in a 1-run game. And takes a sinker just outside for a ball.
Freddie was the first K victim. King has struck out 5 Dodgers on 4 different pitches. Fastball's got 1, sinker's got 1, sweeper's got 2, and the changeup's got 1.
He's only had more than 5 in a game 3 times this year. And 5 through 3 today. 30-year-old comes home as Ohtani takes off. Throw tails. Bogarts catches and tags to get him. And the rookie catcher Adolfo Duran 2 for 2 on challenges and 2 for 2 cutting down base stealers.
This is about quick release and getting it to the correct side of the bag, and Ohtani cannot avoid the tag. Ball beats runner even though it's offline, and the pitcher catcher middle infielder sequence was way early, and it gave him time to hit him on the upper body. That was pretty amazing speed to get that ball down there that quick.
1-2 or 2-2 on Freddie Freeman. King delivers in the dirt.
Well, you're giving away about 10-12 feet when the throw's up the line, but he does it so quick that it's in time to get Ohtani. You see how far away from the bag he is. If the throw is on the bag, he's out by a mile.
Here's a payoff. Freeman swings and misses. King strikes him out for the 2nd time, and both base runners the Dodgers have had have quickly been erased. They brought up the minimum through 4.
Dave Roberts bobblehead night. That's going to be on May 25th, presented by Toyo Tires. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Manny Machado leads off the bottom of the 4th for the Padres and fouls off a first pitch sinker from Yamamoto. Walked his first time. The lone walk issued by Yamamoto in this game. The lone run scored on an Andujar home run in the 1st. Does not have a hit against the fastball in 2 weeks. Below 100 with 2 strikes.
He's not a guess hitter, but he's an anticipator for sure. He definitely studies sequencing and what you're really trying to get him out with.
Yeah, and it's a fastball to finish him off.
A lot of times when you are an anticipating type of swinger and hitter, it's not usually the fastball. It's usually, I'm so good, they're probably going to try and get me out with a slider here, or a split here, or a changeup here, or a curveball. Very rarely do you say, oh, they're going to try and get me out with a fastball, but he, right now, is missing it.
Third one for Yamamoto, 4 away from Jumbo Jacks. He's had 8 in his last 2 starts each. Was not getting the strikeouts even when he was really good those first 4 starts, but last 2 games, a 16-1 strikeout to walk ratio. 1-0 to Xander Bogaerts. In there with a heater, 1-1. Fastball's been his best pitch lately. See what he goes with on 1-1 to Bogaerts. Cutter misses, ball 2. Now the Dodger pitching since Yamamoto's last game has been remarkable. 5 games, 5 runs. And then Snell joining Glasnow on the injured list. Yamamoto, a prideful guy. We talk about our standards for him. His are right there for himself. So trying to reestablish himself as the guy they can count on. Fires a 3-1. Bogaerts lifts it down the line. That'll become a souvenir. 3-2.
Ninth start for Yamamoto. Still plenty of time for him to jump into the Cy Young race. And yeah, you talk about his pride. There could be a race for the Cy Young between 2 Japanese-born pitchers on the same team.
Got him in the inside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the 4th. Let's go down to Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, just in some news when it comes to the pitching depth. So the Dodgers have acquired Eric Lauer from the Toronto Blue Jays. Dave Roberts and Brandon Gomes said that he's going to be with the team tomorrow. They're going to have him throw a bullpen just to evaluate where he's at. Then to start, he'll likely be available as a bulk guy out of the bullpen. But soon they will be moving him into the rotation to be that 6th guy, just while Blake Snell is down. He's going to be having surgery tomorrow. And then Tyler Glasnow, he's shut down right now as he is back flared up just a bit. But they are hoping for him to return soon.
All right, Kirsten is a comebacker to Yamamoto, who twice has gotten Jackson Merrill picking up one of his ground balls. We're through with 4 in a 1-0 game. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Beautiful night here in San Diego for the first of 3 between the Dodgers and the Padres, and the first of 13 this year. Michael King wraps one into the zone, strike 1 on Kyle Tucker. Flied out to center field his first time. Dodgers have never beaten Michael King. He's 3-0 against LA in his career. Hadn't faced him though in a couple years. He missed a lot of last season with the injuries, and Dodgers missed him, or he missed the Dodgers, depending on which way you look at it. Last time they faced him was Game 3 of the division series in 2024. He gave up 5 runs, but the Padres won that game 6-5. Didn't score again in that series, and the Dodgers, of course, came back and won it in 5. And starting with that point, so Kings win in Game 3. Moving forward, the Dodgers have won 11 of the last 15 against the Padres. Last year was the head-to-head wins, then in a lot of ways won the division for LA. Just 3 games over the Padres. Well, it's easy to forget now that everything's happened that has happened, but the Padres were in first place for 27 days last year, including in late August after they took 2 of 3 in LA. Tucker takes strike 3. He's going to challenge, though.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter's challenge.
He didn't look totally convicted that he wanted to challenge it, but he does, and it's powered by T-Mobile. Let's see if it was worth it. And his gut was right.
The call's confirmed. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
7 Ks for King.
Michael King dealt with some shoulder inflammation last year and some left knee problems. Left knee is the worst knee to worry about when you're a right-handed pitcher. That landing leg takes a lot of pressure as you build your power in your back leg and then take it down the hill.
Will Smith took strike 3 called his first time and is in an 0-2 hole here. And if Michael King was continuing to search for the command first couple innings, I think this is a much more dialed in version we're seeing. One-two to Will Smith, misses.
That's the first pitch you've seen that in a while that he's pounding his chest to his catcher like, yeah, my fault. He's been locked in and his spray pattern has been really good. And it is so much fun to catch a pitcher that is locked in like this. So much easier to call the game.
Strikes out Smith, matches the season high with his 8th.
2 outs in the 5th with 8 strikeouts. He is on his game. You said it earlier, Joe, the movement, the deception. Tonight he's got location with that competitive spirit.
7 of the last 11 outs have been strikeouts. Muncy on 0-1. Swings and misses. Everything dipping and diving.
That's a devilish changeup right there. Knee high on the corner and then buries right at the end.
Strikes out the side in the 5th.
Next episode of Backstage Dodgers, relief pitcher Will Klein shows off his love for Magic the Gathering. Plus guitar lessons with Mookie Betts as he takes us inside his latest hobby. Backstage Dodgers, Wednesday after the postgame show.
Nick Castellanos starts the bottom of the 5th for the Padres and takes in the dirt from Yamamoto. Ground out the short his first time as he adjusts to a new role here with the Padres. Not playing every day. Very much a rhythm and feel hitter that relies on those everyday at-bats to get that rhythm and get that feel. But he said he's had to basically say, okay, I can't have as complicated a swing as I did when I was used to getting the everyday roll. Now I'm going to be as simple as I can, just get my foot down and try and see the ball hit the ball. Which has always kind of been the approach and the thought, but now he has the swing to match it. Swing that can kind of plug and play after having a few days off. Yamamoto needed 27 pitches to go through that first inning. Just 11 pitches per inning since. He's retired 10 of the last 11. Here's his 1-2 to Castellanos. Extra long pause there after stepping back.
One way to extend the pitch count, the pitch clock. As long as you start your delivery.
Now a 2-2. And it's full. Laureano and Duran to follow in this 5th for San Diego. Three-two pitch. Popped into right field. Kyle Tucker comes on. Keeps coming. Makes the catch. And now word from Carl's Jr.
Hit the road, Jack. It's the return of the real sourdough star and Carl's Jr.
One gone in this 5th inning for Laureano. But the Padres got at the deadline last year from Baltimore as part of a career year. Hit .280 with 24 home runs last year. This guy who was bouncing from team to team for a few years, mostly known for his defense, or at least for his throwing arm defensively, but had a couple of changes, more closed stance, and the bat has taken off. Change that he made was more going back to what he had done early in his career when he broke in with the A's, and he felt like he just kind of drifted more and more and more open without really realizing it. And once he identified that, change was pretty simple for him. And it has changed his career. Like he was kind of on his way out, getting released by Cleveland, getting dumped by Atlanta. Got the corner.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe not. Shot to right, hangs up for Tucker, makes the catch. He's made the first 2 catches in this inning, but he's kind of had to battle a little bit for both of them. That knuckling line drive that he pulls in, 2 out.
Good piece of hitting right there. Get underneath that, hit the line drive. Pitch before it was off the corner outside. That one leaked a little bit more towards the outer half. Yamamoto glad he's out there in right field.
2 away for Duran. Set himself a good game defensively so far. Kind of a half cut and a miss right there. 11 minor league seasons for Duran. For getting his first chance here with the Padres a couple weeks ago, and then started his major league career 0 for 10 before connecting for a home run for his first career hit. It was on Saturday night in Seattle. The next time he was up, it looked like he had hit another, but got robbed by Julio Rodriguez. On a 1-1 offering from Yamamoto. Duran takes a ball, 2-1. Here's that first career hit, a home run.
Never forget that swing.
11 years, 4 different organizations before getting this chance. Took an injury to Luis Campusano to get him to the majors, even with a couple of years of good hitting in the minors in the Padres system. But perhaps some more time to take, because Freddie Fermin, their starting catcher, has been miserable offensively. Really good defensive catcher, though, and Fermin. Yamamoto's 2-2 pitch. Very high. Full count. Top of the order after Duran. Well, here he is, bottom of the order, which was what he couldn't figure out against the Giants last week. Steadies himself, gets ready for this payoff to the 9-hitter. And he walked him.
Slider that just didn't make it back, slipped out of his hand a little bit, just enough to be inside.
And the inning continues for Tatis.
Careful on his first pitch. Thank you for not swinging it.
I asked Dave Roberts, when you're looking at the lineup card and you're managing this game, what do you see when you see Fernando Tatis and you see Manny Machado's name? He thought for a minute. He said, it's a good question, but I've seen enough of them where I see the full baseball card. I don't see the 2 months of struggling so far for these guys. Because as soon as you see that, that's when they bite you.
I'm on the same page. You have to look at the short term, but the long term tells you they can explode at any time.
So when does it change? When do you start to see the recent version of the guy? And he said, well, the longer the track record, the longer it takes before it changes. And for both these guys, long enough time doing damage. Home run champion 5 years ago, Tatis, 42 of them. Going 2 to 2-2. Here it comes. Got him. Sinker to strike him out. 5 for Yamamoto. 1-0. See if the offense can get him some support. Performance Spotlight is sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers, and it's both starting pitchers. Michael King, a season-high 9 strikeouts over 5 innings. The Dodgers have just 1 hit against him, just 1 walk. Yamamoto nearly as good, giving up the solo shot in the first inning to Andujar. That is it through 5. So 1-0 to the 6th. Andy Pages leads off for the Dodgers. King has struck out the last 4 hitters that he's faced.
Neither one of these pitchers have got good run support coming into this game. And of course you can see why they don't get good run support tonight, because they're facing each other.
And to think the only hit for the Dodgers, it took the ball hitting the bag to get by Manny Machado. We're also looking at a no-hitter into the 6th inning for King. And a 3-2 walk to Ohtani. Pretty darn close to being perfect.
Really good for a guy who came into the game using everything but his best pitch. And here's the only hit. And this one deflects off the bag and scoots by Manny.
Pages muscles this ball into shallow center by Tatis. Leadoff single, Andy Pages, tying run aboard in the 6th.
All you got to do is talk about it, the ball falls in.
63 miles per hour off of Pages' bat.
Scalding. Impossible for outfielders with that full swing. Only Tatis had a shot at it. Full swing off the end of the bat. Outfielders are freezing.
Pages, who has 6 stolen bases this year. And Hernandez taking a strike. Dodgers have tried 2 steals in this game, and Duran has thrown them both out. Dodgers top 5 this year in stolen base success rate. First time all year they've had multiple guys caught in the game. 1-1 pitch. Line drive, bounces to second. Tatis to second one. Bogarts to first, a double play. And he has still faced the minimum. All 3 times somebody's reached, they've been wiped off.
It hasn't taken long for him to erase base runners. In the first, he got it with a stolen base attempt. In the 4th, he got him with a stolen base attempt. And here in the 6th, a double play.
Base is empty for Kim. You're talking about times where Kim gets too big. It looked like that his first time up. King was staying away, sinker change, and he struck out.
You know, we know he is into building strength at the plate and his legs and the legend of his leg presses. But in some ways, go ahead and build the strength, but still stay small in your game in the batter's box.
Cracks this line drive to right center field. A base hit for Kim. Cut off by Castellanos. Holds him to a single. And again, they've got the tying run on.
And the fastest guy on as far as attempting a stolen base with 2 outs. And it's a good time as far as risk reward to do that with Ohtani up. Yes, Ohtani could go out, go deep or a double with 2 out, but it's not painful having him lead off the next inning if he gets thrown out at second.
18 out of 20 in his career. Swinging bunt. Throw to first. Down the line. Tatis gives chase. Kim on his horse. Tatis juggles. Kim stops. Oh no. He was going to score. Then Tatis had the ball pop out of his hand. And Kim ends up at third.
Yeah, there was a late stop sign by Dino Ebel, and right out of the corner of his eyes, Kim stopped. And I think Dino, in picking up Kim, didn't see the bobble. So the timing of all the different events prevented Kim from bringing it home. Ohtani looks like he might be out by like a quarter of a step, but then the ball gets away. And Ohtani decides to stay at first. Kim is rounding hard. And you see Dino Ebel right there holding him up, right? Barely Kim caught the signal. It's good that Kim made a tight turn there. If he touches Dino Ebel, he's going to be out.
Well, Tatis has an absolute hose, so if he does get that cleanly, then you can understand what's going through Dino's mind, and Dino had made that call before the bobble happened. So, first and third, they've got a guy in scoring position for the first time tonight, and Mookie Betts, who's 1 for 2, comes up. One pitch later, King is out of the 6th. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor. Serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. And Duhar leads off the 6th, chops the first pitch to Kim. 1 pitch and 1 out for Yamamoto here in the 6th. Gave up the home run to Andujar in the first inning. That is it. And Dino frustrated, but just bad timing as he throws up the stop sign and didn't have time to change his mind on that. It's a bang bang split second. Kim is headed back towards the bag, so it stays 1-0. Padres in front here in the 6th. Gavin Sheets takes a strike.
Dino grinding it out just like a hitter. They've probably got a couple angles right there. I don't think it's guaranteed that Kim scores even after the bobble.
With Tatis's arm.
Yeah, as I watched the replay and seeing where Kim was, you got to remember that a ball thrown above 90 miles an hour is a lot faster than somebody running. I mean, Kim could be a couple steps away from sliding, and if Tatis is releasing the ball, it's going to be bang, bang, even if it's that close to home.
Even if they call him the Comet. That's foul ball.
Yama got 1 pitch, 1 out to start this inning, and it was a 4-seam fastball. That has been the best pitch with the other hard stuff. The fastball, the sinker, and the cutter. The Padres are 0 for 10 with 4 Ks.
Under the 1-2 to Sheets. Got him to chase. That splitter dives away that time to get his 6K.
If you like pitchers duels, you got one. And this is a dandy. Wow.
King and Yamamoto dueling it out in the first game between the Dodgers and the Padres. 2 up and 2 down in the 6th. Padres just 1 hit since the first inning, just 2 hits total. And here's Machado. Down the middle with a strike. 27 pitch first inning, and Yamamoto about to finish up 6. Yeah, he's starting to become Clayton Kershaw in that regard. Even if he gets punched right away, you can bet on it. You can make a safe bet that he's going to be deep into the game, even with a rough start. Here he comes to the 0-2 pitch. Came in with a +5 ERA his last 4 starts, but this would be the 4th time in 5 games that he goes 6+. Let's go over 2-2. And strikes out Machado. A 1-2-3 6th inning for Yamamoto.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans on May 29th and take home an exclusive Alex Vesia bobblehead presented by Starlux Airlines. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Freddie Freeman starts the 7th for the Dodgers. Michael King yet to record an out in the 7th inning this year. Leading 1-0. Freeman, Tucker, and Smith coming up here. And this is what he so reliably did in his first season in San Diego, is go deep. Jason Adams getting ready. 7+ innings 6 times his first year with the Padres. Falls behind Freeman 2-1. That's when that sinker was automatic, and he didn't have to think from hitter to hitter, how do I get this guy out? He just rode that sinker.
Well, the sinker keeps your pitch count down because you can throw it near the middle of the plate with a little sink and get the ball put in play an awful lot. And if the ground ball goes through the infield, the next ground ball might go at somebody and you get a double play. It keeps the game moving along, keeps your pitch count down.
Ball 3 on Freeman, who he struck out both times tonight. 2 of the 9 that he's got, and it goes full. You saw, though, this is where he typically has started to lose it. And that's why, even as good as he's been, that bullpen is charged up and ready. Got about a 13 ERA from the 6th inning on. When hitters see him a 3rd time, they hit .350. 3-2.
Freddie's had some pitches to hit today, but he's just fouled them off.
Takes strike 3. He'll challenge. Key call coming right here.
The batter's challenging.
Freddie thinks it's high.
Powered by T-Mobile, it is high.
Call's overturned. It is ball 4.
Tying run on once again. So they've had the leadoff man on 3 times now. Out hitting the Padres 4-2. They have just as many walks as San Diego. Nothing to show for it, though. Padres have the one big swing, the 1 home run from Andujar.
If Kyle Tucker can pick on something on the inner half, that's a mistake. He will hit it in that hole over there with Freddie Freeman holding the first baseman.
Only 1 home run in the last month for Kyle Tucker. Only 4 total. Freeman at first, nobody out. That deadly bullpen looming for the Padres. Diving stop by Gavin Sheets. He'll go to second for 1. And that's all they'll get. He almost poked it through that hole you were talking about. Sheets, though, takes a hit from him.
It just was the right equation. Looking for a mistake on the inner half and hitting it hard over there. He just made a great play. If he's a right-handed first baseman, that goes through. The left-handed first baseman has got a little more range and got it. That was a very well done.
Now it's Will Smith, who has struck out twice. Baseball's a weird game. Remember, Pages' hit was 63 miles per hour. That one was hit 102, and he gets an 0 for it. He's on, though, and he's got decent speed. Smith fouls back a first pitch breaker.
That's the second hanging breaking ball that Will's had today that he's missed. A lot of these back of the baseball card resumes today for the Dodgers have missed some hittable pitches.
There goes Tucker. Throw down is not in time, and a stolen base for Kyle Tucker. Was just about to tell you, 3 stolen bases in his first 10 games. Hadn't attempted one since until right there. And an opportune time. Tying run into scoring position.
Slides to the outside part of the bag. That makes him in cleanly. Keep the hand, the oven mitt on the bag. Is he going to keep the tag on you?
Kyle's had 25 stolen bases each of his last 3 healthy seasons. Smith has another breaking ball to hit, but just pops it to the right side. And unable to get it done with Kyle Tucker at second. 2 out.
I mean, hitters will tell you, when you get a breaking ball like that, it's like neon lights on the ball just lighting up saying, hit me, hit me.
So it's up to Max Muncy. 2 strikeouts today for him. 221 home runs in a Dodger uniform for Muncy. The first of those came right here. Doesn't need a home run in this spot. Just a base hit would do the trick.
If you could handpick somebody in the Dodger lineup that you'd want up in this situation down by 1, he would be right there near the top.
'100th pitch from King is an 0-1. Muncy drives one in the air, center field. Merrill on the run to the track. He's there. 7 shutout innings from Michael King. Stand and stretch. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Sit and Sleep. For the Padres went deep, and that is it. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Yamamoto stays out there with 7 strikeouts on his line, and so free jumbo jacks for all tomorrow. He really has been awesome. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 2 hits. But on the wrong side of a pitcher's duel where Michael King's been a touch better. Really 1 bad pitch better. Bogarts, ground ball, diving stop Betts, stumbles as he throws, and that'll keep him from making an extraordinary play. And it's an infield hit from Bogarts to open up this 7th. So Michael King looks like his night is finished. He goes 7 full innings for the first time this year. Jackson Merrill runs down a hot shot from Max Muncy to finish it off.
Had some loud outs in the last inning, but before that, the Dodgers were going quietly.
And he's the 4th guy to fire 7 scoreless innings against the Dodgers this year, which matches the total from all of last year. It's a ball on Merrill. And the problem is, when you face San Diego, it only gets harder after the starter leaves. Merrill shows bunt, pushes it foul, 1-1. Jason Adams ready for the 8th inning, where the bottom of the order will come up, and then Mason Miller will handle the ninth. For the Dodgers, Kyle Hurt.
You better get him in the eighth because the ninth is pretty much shut down.
And even in the eighth, Adams not been that far off of what Mason Miller's done.
Yamamoto's still out there, and this is another outing of 6+, and he's allowed 2 or fewer, and he's looking at a loss again. Has not gotten much support this year again.
Two and one on Merrill. Was twice grounded back to Yamamoto, and is now 3 for his last 36. Grounder right side. Kim has it, juggles, throws to second, and gets the lead man. Not an easy play there with Bogaerts flashing in front of his face.
Tasty play. Wow. Especially on the hop here. Watch how the glove has to just come up abruptly to get that hop, and then he has the gumption to still go to second to get the lead runner, and Mookie Betts has to do a little bit of a dance over there to stay on the bag. That was well done. Degree of difficulty very high.
Keeps the runner out of scoring position. 100th pitch coming here to Castellanos, and it misses downstairs. Yeah, one game after Yamamoto gives up the 3 home runs to the 8 and 9 hitters. No hits 6 through 9 today. And the Padres line up. Castellanos 0 for 2. Chuck on Merrill, who is 8 for 8 in stolen bases this year, after he was 1 for 3 last year. Hamstring was bugging him last year. That's healed. Ground ball could finish off 7 innings for Yamamoto. There goes Merrill, though. Swing and a miss. Throw from Smith is not in time, and Merrill stays perfect on the bases.
Good jump. Will Smith with a good throw, but he stole this off of Yamamoto. Very close.
Count is 1-2. Here comes Yamamoto in the dirt, knocked down by Smith.
With the score the way it is and San Diego's bullpen performing the way it is, you actually have this batter and a couple more to get an out. Even if you get to a point, you got to get an out. You're looking for 2, but you can't get it right now with a man on second. Can't let this run score.
Upstairs.
Something off speed, make him hit it to the left side or strike him out.
Went with the splitter and took option B. Struck him out. Third straight start with 8 of them for Yamamoto.
Outstanding pitch. When you get to a point where your back's against the wall, you're fatigued because of the pitch count and all the stressful pitches you made, and you make a pitch like that, that is well done. Not overthrown, just executed perfectly on pitch 105.
Up to Ramon Laureano is 0 for 2, although scorched line drive his last time that was caught and right. Padres 1, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the 7th. 1-0 on the 8-hitter Laureano. Here it comes. Ground ball right at Mookie Betts. He's got it. And Yamamoto's gone 7. He's given up just 1. On to the 8th. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii starts here. What an outing from Yamamoto. Strikes out 8 over 7 innings. Third time in his last 6 starts he's gone 7+. And it becomes a matchup of the bullpens. Padres pen, awesome. Best part of this team. Even with an offense down in the bottom part of baseball, starting staff in the bottom half of baseball, they're a half game out of first because of the pen. But don't sleep on the Dodger bullpen, which is second only to the Padres this month. Has not given up a run during this 5-game winning streak. And you know about Mason Miller in the 9th inning, but Jason Adam in the 8th has been almost as good with a 1.23 ERA.
His best pitch is his slider.
Andy Pages takes a ball 1-1. 5 years, last 5 years for Adam, 2 ERA. Only Miller better. Pages grounds it to Machado. 1 gone in the 8th. And Teoscar Hernandez. Some of the underlying numbers not smiling on Adam, though. His strikeout rate cut in half from what it normally is. So you see an ERA like his, but you see the strikeout numbers, and a lot of times that means there's a regression coming. Dodgers would love if that would happen this week. Changeup gets a swing and a miss from Hernandez. Another.
Dodgers really have gotten some pitches to the hit tonight, and especially glaring in a 1-0 game.
4 hits, 2 walks in this game. Just haven't had that big hit, though.
Change up and sliders in a game this close. You're going to get the best pitches out of this reliever. Those 2 off-speed pitches are real good.
Another 0-2 and another foul ball.
Dodger starting pitching over the last 6 games has been immaculate. Just fantastic. A batting average against them just over 150 and only 6 earned runs in 6 games.
Hoping for some late magic against this Padres bullpen to continue the winning streak in that same time frame. Dodgers have won 5 straight. Padres coming off a sweep of the Mariners. They've won 6 of 8. And Trail LA by just a half game in the West. 3 straight foul balls off of Teoscar's bat. Another 0-2 from Jason Adam. Lays off, ball 1. Two and 2.
Teo picking up a lot of information during this at bat. Plus, it's going to help the future hitters in this inning.
Two pitch. Fouls it again.
Another juicy one. He was on that fastball.
It's down 0-2 just like that. This is going to be the 9th pitch. Adam to Hernandez. Fouls another. And Teoscar Hernandez, who had too many quick, non-competitive at-bats in the early part of this season, is grinded out right here. This will be the 10th pitch.
I think it'll be something off speed. He's throwing him back-to-back fastballs.
Chopper to Machado. It was a slider, and he eventually finishes him off 2 away. And now word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is sponsored in part by your Southern California Nissan dealers.
Kim, best chance the Dodgers had in this game. Kim in the 6th inning singled with 2 outs and had a chance to score on a base hit from Ohtani, an infield hit that then got thrown down the right field line, but stop sign from Dino Ebel and then a little bobble from Tatis, who was at second base, meant he probably could have scored. Dodgers still looking for the run, though. Ball on Kim. Adrian Morejon is ready if this gets to Ohtani. Adams 1-0. Ball 2.
A 2-0 count where the at-bat could end soon, given their left-handed reliever some time to get ready for Ohtani with this meeting.
Here's that play that I was trying to describe. Kind of a tough one to describe, so we'll just give you the video of it.
Oh, this ball gets away. Tatis picks it up. It's a little bit of a bobble, and Dino Ebel sees him picking it up and holds Kim up because of the strength of Tatis's arm. And watching it in between innings over and over again, I think Dino's still right. I think he's probably going to be out, but with 2 outs, you're going to be aggressive and send him.
2-1. Adam comes home. Kim fouls it off, and the count evens 2-2. Ohtani looms on deck. Adam to Kim with a 2-2 pitch. Dodgers making Jason Adam work. Is seeing some of the inability to put guys away that we were referencing with his strikeout rate down. Bunch of foul balls. This will be the 19th pitch of the inning. It's another 2-2. Lays off the high heat. And a full count on Kim.
His fastball as a put-away pitch or a setup pitch has had too big a spray pattern. Tried to get Teo with that. Right there, took another shot.
Here it is. He stays alive.
I think those swings right there are out of character for who he wants to be. Can't let that front side fly open as much. Got to look more of the opposite field.
Takes ball 4. Squeezes it out of him. And again, they got the tying run on, and Ohtani coming up. Craig Stammen is on the top step of that Padres dugout, giving Morejon an extra pitch or 2 to throw, or perhaps even letting Jason Adam face him. Morejon has stopped throwing. They're going to let Adam face him. Now, it is worth pointing out, while Morejon's been nasty against lefties, Ohtani's 4 for 10 with a home run against him. So Shohei gets his shot and swings and misses. against Adam. 1 for 7 with 4 Ks. Kim has a pretty short lead over there. Ohtani, base hit right field. Kim heads for third. Tatis throws over there late. They've got him cornered with 2 out. They've got the tying run 90 feet away.
Tucker couldn't get it by Sheets, but Ohtani does. Another bullet over there by the first baseman with a man on first. He hits a scorcher by him. It's a little wider than Tucker's ball. But he keeps the Dodgers alive here in the 8th.
And gives him the same situation that Mookie Betts had in the 6th inning when he popped out on the very first pitch that he saw. It is only May, but to just dismiss it because of that is forfeiting a chance to really enjoy what has become such a fun series. Dodgers and Padres with a little taste of October in the spring.
You got both chants going right now. Stadium is alive.
Warning to Jason Adam to let Mookie Betts get ready before he does. Kim at third, Ohtani at first. Dodgers trying to break through. Down 1-0 in the 8th. Mookie Betts takes strike 1. A slider popped out of his hand but found the zone.
That one was another juicy one to a big-time resume hitter. Gonna make him pay on one of these mistakes.
Can Mookie come through? He scalds it to short. Bogarts to second. Inning over to the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers strand a pair. When we finish, the guys will be ready with the post-game show. It's Access SportsNet Dodgers, presented by Mercury Insurance. Dodgers down 1-0. The bottom of the 8th, and the call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers. How about Kyle Hurt? Gave up a run in his first outing this year, has not given up a run in 11 games since. He's third in the National League in ERA. It's Raisel Iglesias, Robert Suarez, and then Kyle Hurt.
It's a guy you can trust. He's done it often enough now. It's mainly the fastball changeup combination. His spray pattern has been very tight, hitting his targets.
9-1-2 here. Rodolfo Duran hits it foul, 1-1 for the Dodgers in the 9th inning against Mason Miller. It's Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker, and Will Smith. Only run of this game came on a solo shot from Miguel Andujar in the 1st inning. Grounded to Muncy. Close play, but in time.
That home run you mentioned that's got the Padres up 1-0 was on a split finger that was up and lazy, but since then Yamamoto bared down. Padres are 0 for 7 against the splitter the rest of the way with 3 Ks. One little mistake they capitalized on, and now the big guy in the 9th warming up.
Well, to thrust your name into the Cy Young conversation as a reliever, you got to be a real big guy, and Mason Miller has been that. Tatis grounds one off Hurt, which it probably did. Ricochets into right, and Tatis has a 1-out single.
Kyle Hurt tried to jump a little rope to get out of the way of this one, but it still caught his foot.
Looks like somebody tied a rope around his leg and just yanked it.
Yeah.
Tatis is on with just the 4th hit of the game for the Padres, and here is the home run hitter Andujar. Promptly flies it to Tucker. He's got room, 2 out.
Well, since his home run, the Padres are 3 for 25 with 8 Ks. So Yamamoto and the pen have done the job.
The Dodgers haven't lost a game where the only run they allowed was on a 1st inning home run since 1982. Two away for Sheets.
With Mason Miller warming up, it is going to be a challenge not to do that.
Number 1 in the majors, 14 saves. Number 1 in the majors, more than 2 strikeouts per inning. Tatis leaning over there at first and running. Throw from Smith. In time, goodbye. On to the 9th inning we go. Fasten those seatbelts. Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker, Will Smith coming up against the game's best. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on SportsNet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. To the 9th inning we go. Dodgers down 1-0. And facing off with Mason Miller, who's been almost untouchable since the Padres got him from the A's at the deadline last year.
And the Padre ERA under 1 from last year to this year. He has been nothing but brilliant.
Freddie Freeman leads off and takes ball 1. He had a 34-inning scoreless streak. Not bad. I know not the best, but not bad. That went from August 5th last year to April 27th of this year. Dodgers really haven't seen much of him. In fact, the entire team combined just 13 at-bats against Mason Miller. 1 for 13. The lone hit was from Santiago Espinal. 2-0 to Freeman. Ball 3.
Went back-to-back sliders with the highest whiff percentage pitch in the big leagues at 72%. But he's missed with it.
Freeman patiently letting him. And then he's in there. Eases the fastball in at 100. 3-1.
Here comes the keyhole pitch. Freddie looking for one spot.
A leadoff walk for Freddie Freeman. It's the 4th time the last 5 innings the Dodgers have gotten the leadoff man on. Traffic throughout this game.
One advantage they have now is seeing that he's not landing his slider, so they can sit fastball as far as looking in the strike zone.
Alex Call pinch runs for Freddie Freeman. All right, here's Tucker. Ball 1. Mason Miller, unlike a lot of closers, doesn't give up any stolen bases. In fact, 6 years in the majors, he's only given up 12.
This is a good pitch to run on right here because he has been throwing ball, and with a walk, he's concentrating on the strike zone.
Here he comes. Tucker takes one, not close.
This is really interesting inning right now. Guy on the mound has elite plus stuff, but he's not throwing it for strikes. Doesn't give up many stolen bases, but a speedy runner at first where he's going to be concentrating on the glove and trying to get in the strike zone.
And Call, good speed, not a particularly good base stealer, though. In his career, he's almost been caught as many times as he's been successful. Tucker at the plate, the go-ahead run. Mason Miller threw 7 pitches. Looks like somebody just stole Mason Miller's uniform and came out there and is trying to close this game. Doesn't look like him.
If there isn't a double play, the Dodgers have 2 left-handed hitters. He's going to have to face 2. So it nullifies that slider a little bit.
Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. 2-0 to Kyle Tucker. Ball 3. Another wide miss.
He is throwing the baseball before his front foot hits, and that's what's making his spray pattern all over the place. He's not stabilizing the front side, and it's just flying everywhere.
Wow! What do we have here?
An adrenaline rush that he can't get in the right order. He's as strong as can be, throwing it as hard as he can be, spinning it as fast as he can spin it, but it's in the wrong direction.
16 for his last 16. Back to early August of last year and save opportunities. Back-to-back walks to start the night. Tying run into scoring position. Go ahead run to first. Will Smith to the plate. Breaking pitch misses.
That might get him back in line, though. Got his hand on top of the ball and had it moving correctly.
Will Smith, who's had so many big swings through his career, takes a fastball and a challenge here from Duran, who is 2 for 2 on these tonight. Powered by T-Mobile.
It looked like a strike to me.
He's going to be perfect. 3 for 3.
Call's overturned and it counts 1-1.
Only his second strike in 11 pitches.
More go-ahead home runs in the 8th inning or later than any hitter since his debut. 2 on, nobody out. 1-1. Down the pipe.
101. He's got room to spare. I think you're going to get a slider here.
Well, when he gets you to 2 strikes, strikes you out more than 70% of the time. First time he's gotten there in this 9th inning. His 1-2 to Will Smith. Fastball fouled off.
He got one to hit. You want to hit off Mason Miller, go to a batting cage, tell him to crank it up as fast as they can, and then move 6-7 steps in front of the batter's box and try and hit it.
Another foul. After the 101, he bends one in there. Smith stays alive. Mason Miller came into this outing with a 44-6 strikeout to walk ratio. Walks Freeman, walks Tucker. Another 1-2 to Will Smith. Lifted the left center field, mirror into the gap with the call and the catch. Call hangs on. 1 out. Muncy. Dodgers are so good this weekend against the Angels. Runners in scoring position. 0 for 5 in this game, though. They have leaned on the Padres in the late innings. Can they crack through? Called at second, Tucker at first. Muncy takes strike 1.
The speed differential between the fastball and the slider is not that great. But what is hard is just picking it up.
The 0-1. Muncy's late on a fastball.
Alex Call's got to stop jumping around at second. It is hard enough to hit this guy. Then a left-handed hitter is looking right at the runner at second base.
Struck him out on 3 pitches. And just like that, Mason Miller's 1 out away.
It's almost like he was spotting the Dodgers a couple of runners to show him how good he is.
It's up to Andy Pages, who's driven in more than any hitter in baseball. Best closer in baseball against best RBI man with the game on the line. Here's the 0-1. Fastball's by him, strike 2. Pages much better breaking ball hitter than fastball hitter. See what Miller gives him. 0-2 pitch. Got a piece of that slider and stayed alive.
Andy's been able to foul off a couple of sliders over there in the left-hand batter's box tonight. Last time he did that, they went fastball in and got him.
Down to third, Machado will tag call and end the game. Dodgers had first and second, nobody out against Mason Miller, but he puts his foot down, slams the door, retires the next 3, and finishes off a 1-0 San Diego win.
A rivalry, an anticipation of a great series, and they gave us a great game.
And the first loss of this kind with a first inning home run, 1-0 since 1982. The 5-game winning streak comes to a close, and after the Dodgers average 10 runs per game against the Angels, they get shut out in the first game against the Padres. For Earl Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Petco Park. We'll talk to you again tomorrow night.